Okay, and we are underway. All right, welcome back. I am here with Mr. Sebastian Hersko. My
Um,
name is Jack Anderson, and we are talking UFC, or more so the lack of it. So, what coaster this one has been?
well, Jack, it's been a long month for everyone, not just in the UFC world, but in the world itself. So hopefully everyone's safe and they're keeping their distance. But this video is gonna be about the UFC and how, for whatever reason, we never get what we want. Like we never get Khabib and Tony. It's always cursed. It'll always be cursed. And just thought we could talk about how everything went down and where our thought was this past month. And I'll start off. I mean, the press conference was what last month. Things were
Mhm.
going well. We saw them both face to face, and it was only a month away. And then I think a week later, everything got shut down. There was a lot of talk about will it stay in Brooklyn, the card, and then Dana originally came out and said like, yeah, it's still going on, it's still going on, and then eventually they said it won't be in Brooklyn. And Dana's like, all right, it's still going on, still going on.
Yep.
And Dana, I'll give him credit for trying to keep it alive, but like realistically, like it's probably not gonna happen. And then fast forward a couple weeks later, they said like Khabib went back home or something. Like he was told to go to Saudi Arabia or something, and then he went
Yeah.
home. He got trapped home, and it was just a mess from there. And unfortunately, Dayton couldn't save it, and I don't blame him. He did what he had to do, but it's just tough because that's the fifth time, and God, I don't know what will happen the sixth time. Let's just
Yeah.
put. So,
Like how
what were your
how
thoughts?
typical is it that the fifth time they book this fight after Dana says, you know what, I'm never booking this again. The fourth time, that was the last straw.
Mhm.
Tony Ferguson tripped over cables after
Yeah,
a pre-fight event and just absolutely tore his knee. Never happening again. He gets it. We have the fight. They sign the contract. We have the press conference, and then a global pandemic comes and knocks out the door and takes Khabib and Tony away from us yet again.
it's only fitting that like the fifth time it got canceled, it's like neutral. It wasn't Khabib's fault, it wasn't Tony's fault. It was just like it was the way it was. So
Exactly.
like I said, the sixth time, I don't know what will happen next time, if there is a next time, whether it's World War III or like something. I don't know. But I'm not looking forward to that. And I just hope that they can rebook it again and we can play this game again in a couple months. So
Yeah, you know what? Like originally when Khabib had that whole situation when he tried to go into, I think it was the United Arab Emirates, so the
yeah,
UAE,
or something like that.
Dubai,
Yeah.
and like was denied into the country and then flew back to Russia. There's a big misconception that it was Khabib's fault that the whole Tony thing,
Yeah.
the whole fight, fell apart. But really, in the end, you see now, even after Gaethje stepped in, even after everything, it wasn't truly in Dana White's power the entire time to make this card happen. And once the Disney executives come in and the ESPN executives come in, those are Dana's bosses. So unfortunately, yeah, we won't get it now. Maybe sometime down the road. I was hearing Brett Okamoto of ESPN. He was talking about potentially May. They're looking for these fights to resume, and on this new private island that Dana's going to buy, and the fight island that's going to happen or
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
not happen. Mortal Kombat esque. I don't know what this is going to be about, but these next couple months will be interesting to see like whether we actually do get fights or like every other sport we get nothing.
At first I was pissed at Dana because like he wouldn't tell us where they were going. But then like I thought about it after. I'm like, it's kind of smart that he kept it to last minute because like we saw what happened when word got out. It was in some tribe, and then like the next day everything got shut down because I guess he got pressured by the governor of California, and then um it's just unfortunate what happened. And I mean, hats off to Gaethje too. We should probably give him a couple of props there. Like he stepped in. It's no easy fight when you step in last minute, especially when you're fighting Tony. Um, but hopefully we just get some fights. I know everyone. And that's another thing too. Like everyone's always talking like, oh yeah, I'll step in last minute, and then like we see all this stuff on Twitter, and like the thing with Colby and Tyron,
Yeah.
like that was just oh like I wanted to see that fight, but they kept going back and forth, and it's just stuff like that. Like no one's stepping in, so hats off to Gaethje for just stepping in and you
Yeah,
know
it was
taking
interesting.
a
'Cause
risk.
he was one of the few guys who was actually like, no, I wouldn't step in. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to fight Tony Ferguson off only a month's notice, and then
yeah,
he was willing to do it on 2 weeks' notice. So yeah, that really shows like the true character in Gaethje that he's willing to do that, even though he said he wouldn't. Where you have the opposite spectrum, which is guys like Colby and Woodley, who are like, oh yeah, like we're gonna do this, we're gonna make this fight happen, and then it's all talk on Twitter, and then nobody ever signs the dotted line. So
it was just stupid. It was like I don't know if it was Woodley or Colby, but they're like, oh yeah, we won't do it because it's a 3 round fight. I'm like, what do you think it'd be? Like it's Gaethje and Ferguson is the main event. What are you signing up for? Like of course it's gonna be a 3 round fight, but you know. Other than that, like it ended unfortunately, but like, what do you think about the whole island, the whole Dana's island?
I like the relentless effort he showed to like put this all together and have a location. Worst case, like if they couldn't do it on the California kind of tribal grounds,
Yeah,
then it was going to be this private island. So Dana was really ready to make it work. So I have to he deserves a pat on the back for that one, no doubt. Um, but yeah, I don't know how this fight island is gonna work because, first of all, you have to like get all the fighters there.
yeah,
So you have to like go against, basically what the entire government is laying out for you to do, which is stay home and stay
yeah,
quarantined. But instead you're like somehow making like these private flights happen to this island wherever it may be in the ocean somewhere, like just like the thought of putting all this together and actually making this happen, and still it all being within the limits of like how many people can be within each other in the same room at the same time, like just the thought process of that, and then also like the public reaction, which is probably why they wanted it shut down in the first place, was what if something bad happens,
yeah.
what if somebody does catch coronavirus, brings it back, infects more people, then how bad does the UFC look? It's I'm on the fence, man. Like, because you probably know as well as I do. Like, I want to see the fights. Like, I would
Yeah.
love to see something to bring us back to normalcy. Like, there's actually,
Anything at this point,
yeah,
anything at this point.
anything.
Yeah,
But at the same time, like, you got to look at it from a logical perspective, and I think realistically, it's probably best to just put it off. You know, once everybody comes back together and they decide, okay, we can start having people in venues together and public gatherings and stuff like that, then hell yeah, just go for it. But I don't know, man. It's a tough call.
I mean, like I'm with you. Like logically, of it that way, but like for Dana, I think he sees it as like this is a big opportunity for the UFC to like grow because like there's nothing on right now, and even like if this card happened, like everyone would be watching it.
For sure.
It'd bring UFC to a new level that like it's never been, and I feel like Dana's looking at that. Like if he can get something going within the next month, all eyes are on the UFC. But at the same point, like I don't know if it's realistic. I don't know how the whole thing's gonna work. Where like they just blindfold them and like they show up at the island, they don't know where they are. Like I don't know how it's gonna work. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, like just give me something at this point. And like realistically, when do you even think like this could happen if it does? Like let's say there is an island. Let's say like everything's going to plan. Like are we thinking May, June?
Yeah, like I want to say sometime in the summer, but yeah, again, like you have to figure out all the flights there, like all the people that need to be there, like the who can sanction it, the commission, and you gotta get judges and referees and stuff there. So it's interesting. Like all this stuff has to come into fruition very quickly if they want
Yeah.
to make it happen. And I don't know. I don't know if I see it, but um, you know, depending on whether or not they can have those opportunities to get everybody all in place, then yeah, I don't see why they couldn't do it within a couple months. Like it totally makes sense. But yeah, once again, man, I'm on the fence, and it's a tough decision to make in the end.
what I'm confused about is like there's like no plan in place for like any venue, yet they're still booking Cejudo versus Cruz.
Exactly.
Like it's
Like,
just stuff like that. Like why are you booking fights when we don't even know where they're going or like what's happening? Um, and like I don't know if these guys are getting paid or not. Like I think Dana said they're gonna pay
yeah,
everyone that
I
was
think
supposed
they
to fight next week,
will.
but like everything's just a mess right now. There's no other way to say it. Like everything's just up in
Mhm.
the air, and ugh,
And
it
you make a
sucks.
good point, like for a guy like Jose Aldo, who's obviously trapped in Brazil, um, he loses an opportunity that he might not have down
Hmm.
the road now because of his age. Maybe, maybe he regresses without
Yeah,
proper training and being active and stuff like that. So now, what does that mean for Jose Aldo? You let Dominic Cruz step in, and then
exactly.
all of a sudden Aldo gets forgotten about, or even the rest of the bantamweight contenders, guys like Peter Yan and Aljamain Sterling. It's there's just so many questions that go into like how you decide to move forward with these fights over the next few months, if they can even happen. So
The
yeah,
other
you
thing the other thing
there.
we gotta think about is like, let's say things do start coming back, like everything's resuming. Are they gonna have to bunch up cards together now? Because like there's a TV deal in place. Like I think ESPN tells them like you have to have this many shows each year.
Right.
Well, they're losing money each week, right? Like, are they gonna have to do like what, two pay-per-views a month now? Like I don't know. Like
Yeah, they'll probably have to like, definitely max out those cards as much as they
yeah,
can. Like you kind of already saw like they were trying to fit Ngannou and Rosenstrike into 249. So I can kind of see all the fights that were scheduled to happen around then, starting to come together, and maybe we have a couple of like super fight cards, just like two or three once this all comes back, where it's just like money after money, and you just know that the revenue is going to be up. And like you said, if they can manage to pull it off while no other sports are on,
exactly.
like the amount of viewership they're going to get, it could be through the roof, like probably close to or more than the McGregor numbers of the
Mhm.
past. So,
I mean,
um,
this was a stack card too, if you think about it. Like it was a stack card. They had
true.
Ngannou, Rosenstrike as the main event for I think
Prelims.
the yeah, the prelims.
Yeah, not even
So
on the main card.
yeah, so imagine like what could happen if they just start bunching up fights, and it could be good for us, but we just gotta wait around and see what happens at this point.
Hmm.
But I don't know, like that was what I wanted to bring up today. Is just how every time like Khabib Tony get paired up, it's just it never comes to us, and I don't know. Do you want to see them book it a sixth time or what?
Oh, absolutely. I think like it has to happen. And we talked about this before, but like Khabib said himself, he's like for my legacy, I have to beat Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, for sure.
He is like undisputed number one contender. Connor number two, but like Khabib and Tony, they're just on a different level.
Mhm.
And until they fight, like it's never truly the two best fighters in that division fighting. You can toss Gaethje in there, but Gaethje's like the third or fourth best guy, and it's not the same. It would still be an exciting fight, but until Khabib Tony happens, like these debates will never be settled, and the hype is definitely there, and Dana recognizes that.
Well, I mean, like if anything, it probably would have been a four-man tournament anyways, but like now we actually have a four-man tournament if it's Khabib Tony and then Connor Gaethje. Like they
Hmm.
can finally settle that. Um, I know Connor wanted to do like a whole season thing, but at this point, we don't know how that's gonna happen. Um, but if anything, like it totally ruins a lot. And just like the whole auto example, I didn't even think about that, but like, he loses out on a title shot, he may not get it again. Gaethje might not get this opportunity again. Who knows? Stuff like that. But
Yeah, there's a long waiting list in the lightweight
yeah,
division, especially.
yeah, yeah. But I don't know. Prediction time. What's gonna be the reason for Khabib Tony get canceled the sixth time? Do you think? What's the reason?
Oh man, it's got to be something more ridiculous than a global pandemic. So I don't know, maybe like the return of Godzilla or something like that. Like I don't know,
Something I don't know. Like
Dagestan like crumble and I don't know, like something just absolutely ridiculous.
God, I don't. I'm not looking forward to it. But God, well, just hopefully everything just comes back soon, but the whole world is just messed up right now, and
Hmm.
like it sucks. No one thought they could come to this, and I mean, there's no sports on. Like it's awful.
Yeah, it's
I go
tough.
on I go on Bet 365, and all it is just like esports and like table tennis. I think that's all it is.
Hmm. Yeah, and you see on like TSN and ESPN, like they're live streaming 2K leagues and like over
Yeah,
leagues and all this different like e-gaming stuff, or sorry, esports stuff. So like that's pretty much what life is now is video games, I guess, and
yeah. And
nothing.
then I mean, as for us, like as for this channel moving forward, I mean, next couple weeks we'll probably have video out with Adam doing the whole draft thing.
For sure.
That's in a couple weeks. It's obviously not in person, which kind of sucks. But I mean, something to talk about at least, because there's nothing to talk about right now.
Yeah, like at least we have the draft. We won't get OTAs or training camps or anything like that,
Yeah,
but at least we have the draft and at least the fantasy aspect of sports.
yeah.
So
And if we get really bored, we can just try and make our own sport too. I mean, like we could try and do that. Who knows? But
absolutely.
is there anything else you want to touch up on today before we wrap this quick video up? I just thought we'd share our thoughts and see what the next couple months hold.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think the most important thing is just, even though we miss our sports, we want to see it, and
Yeah.
it sucks to not have them. Like the most important thing is everybody has to stay home and stay safe and, keep within distance of big groups and stuff like that. And as long as we keep doing that, then sports will be back before we know it, and then nobody will be complaining anymore. So
Have you
that's
gone have you gone out yet, or like do you still go out to like the store or anything?
Yeah, like I've gone out to stores and done like, regular stuff, but I mean, I don't go out very much besides when I need to. So it's been pretty boring for the most part.
I have a funny story because like today I went to the store and like I waited an hour, almost an hour in line, right? And I guess uh I wasn't paying attention to my social distance, right? So this girl in front of me, she's like you're supposed to be 6 feet behind me. It feels like you're on top of me right now. That's what she that's what she said to me, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll move back then. But like, I mean,
Yeah,
like, I didn't think I was that close, right? I thought like, I thought it was a couple feet from her, but she had no problem telling me that, and
yeah, no, you have to watch out for that, man, because like people will actually like they'll stare you down, and
yeah,
it's like
okay,
they'll make you feel like you're like you're an outcast because you're not
I
standing
under,
6 feet apart from this
I
walk by.
understand that, but like, if you're telling me like you need to be 6 feet away from you, why? And this girl's not wearing gloves, she's not wearing a mask, yet she's freaking out that I can see like I can see her, and like I'm not close to her. So like I don't know what people are thinking. People are freaking out. Okay, like I got embarrassed. Well, I wasn't really that embarrassed, but like I wasn't expecting that. Trying to
Yeah,
get like my
no,
bananas in the
it's
morning.
different. Like it's different to deal with, so you're not used to it. So when something like that happens, you're just like, damn, like that's really life now. It's like people are gonna be staring at you so weird every time you walk by them.
Yeah, and then like you're passing people around the store, and you're like, oh, I gotta like get my 6 feet from you. Sorry, I'll just go around you. That's fine.
I'll just go to
But
the
yeah,
next aisle. Sorry.
yeah, but I had a very tough morning mentally because I had to wait an hour and got yelled at by some like 50-year-old woman. So that's fine. But anyways, everyone keep your social distance. All right. Don't
Absolutely.
make sure to take the measuring tape out and just like keep your 6 feet away from you. But Jack, any final words?
No, that's it. Stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe, everyone. And until next time, we'll see you guys soon.
All right. See you guys later. Thanks for watching.